Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is your tropical update for June 10th. We have an area of interest located south of Mexico, making its way near the Mexican coast over the next few days. That's our main topic. Let's zoom in on that area. This really isn't a great zoom in, but this is the best one I could find in the quick search I did. We're looking south of Mexico. I'll bring my cursor on screen. Where my cursor circling right here is where that area of interest is located. So decent amount of convection located there, but this also gives a better look at large of what we call the Central American Gyre. That is a large rotating area of convection over Central America. Big surprise. And so we do see heavy convection located north of Panama and to the east of Nicaragua today, which would in fact be beneficial for the formation of a tropical cyclone. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into something, but it kind of depends if it moves inland and then becomes something in the Pacific, or if it stays in the Caribbean Sea and becomes something in the Atlantic. We also have a non-tropical area of low pressure located here that we can see north of the Bahamas. I guess that's worth noting since it's rotating, but as you see, no convection there. So obviously not a tropical cyclone. As I mentioned, this is the area we've been talking about the past few days. National Hurricane Center now giving it a 70% chance of formation within the next 5 days. And all indications are that this thing will develop. Like I mentioned, the Central American Gyre, the area near Central America, could produce several tropical cyclones over the next few days. And that's what happens this time of year in general. There's also a chance of a storm off the east coast of the United States. So let's talk about all of those things here. So this is the GFS model that came out this morning. And this is it modeled in 4 days from now. That's on Tuesday morning. So we see a very likely a tropical storm, maybe even a stronger tropical storm located south of Mexico here. And so that could bring heavy rainfall and probably some winds as well to South Mexico. We have that area of disturbed weather still over much of Central America. That Central American Gyre, like I said, could produce something. At the moment, it looks like the GFS model is actually caving to the European solution, which favors development on the Pacific side rather than the Caribbean Sea side of the gyre, which is good news for U.S. interests, but still eventually it gets something going on the U.S. side. And as I mentioned, this is where we're watching this time of year. And then that other system I want to talk about is this low pressure located over Tennessee. It also has a little appendage here. It looks like from a cold front from a low to the north. There's this appendage here with heavy convection and a little notch in the isobar, which could mean that we have a tropical cyclone forming. And in fact, that is what happens on the model by the next day on Wednesday. That's 5 days from now. It has a tropical depression forming in the central Atlantic. Now it brings it out to sea. Like I said yesterday, it brought it inland towards Florida. So this is just something we're going to want to keep an eye on here if this thing does form. And my guess would be the Hurricane Center might highlight that here in the next day or so if the GFS models continue and other models continue to show development of that. Like I mentioned, the GFS now shows development in the Pacific like the European does. Of that second storm, and now probably a severe tropical storm or a hurricane making landfall on Mexico in about 5 days from now. Like I mentioned, that's why we have that tropical alert in place for the southern coast of Mexico, because we could see tropical development there. That's all I have for today. Like I mentioned, we do have those few storms we need to keep our eye on. And so we will continue to monitor them. Again, it's always iffy until something actually begins to coalesce, which we finally have something coalescing with that first storm here, but lots of other things to keep an eye on here over the next few days. That's all for now. Chris Dixon of Weather Catholic Media.